Cosmos, the show where Sue Rose Minahan and her panel of guests bring you insightful conversations to awaken consciousness for soul growth. Come journey with us through astrology's energetic cycles and get ready to understand your path in the cosmic roots of the stars.
Hello, everybody. I'm Sue Rose Minahan. This is Talk Cosmos, and we are in what many think of, and I certainly have been experiencing, the eclipse season. You know, these eclipses is a synergy. It's actually a word that's very close to that, where the sun, the moon, and earth all connect because of their orbits. And the lights go out as far as what we perceive. The first one is the lunar, which is the moon. Earth comes right between, and the shadow blocks the sun's reflection on this. And what does that mean? Well, it means things like, for instance, today at the last minute, one of our really wonderful people that it works with Astro Jam for a long time said, whoops, big family changes and everything, couldn't do it. So it's like, oh, okay. And I think that's what it is, because I'm taking on a role that really is a lot about roles, Saturn. And Saturn is what? Like, what role are we becoming? Who are we? What definitions? At any rate, this is an exciting time. Usually with Astro Jam, which is this panel, comes about 4 or 5 times a year, we do mystery charts. This year has been totally different with all these powerful ingresses and just the timing that the week that's available, which is the 5th week often in the month. And I'm taking up a lot of time, and we don't have a lot of time when I think about it. That's another struggle with Saturn, right? Time and not time. It's cycles, ending, cycles, beginning. The point being the lights go out and a new system, a new evolution ignites. Oh, and we were going to do mystery charts. Nope. We're doing the lunar eclipse, and then we're going to do the solar eclipse. Bon voyage. I'll see you in a moment. It's Astro Jam time.
Astro Jam is a fun and exciting reenactment where a group of astrologers bring 2 mystery charts to life. Here, planets speak their archetypal consciousness to us, just like they do in our minds and hearts. Playing out the chart's planets like a spontaneous music jam, this is your cast of Astro Jam.
Yes, we have quite a potpourri. There's 8 of us all together. We have Jolly Knot from England, and her website is Bodhimindful.com. She's an astrologer, a Reiki master, and a coach. Thank you very much there, Jolly. And she will be the moon in Neptune. We have Robert, who I think will be coming in late because he's at the wonderful conference, Fractal Cosmos. I went to it myself. It's fantastic. And when he does, he'll be like that shot of Uranus. Meanwhile, we have Susie Cox, and Susie is from Arizona. And you can find her at her YouTube, Susie Cox 9594. She's a professional astrologer, a workshop presenter, author, has done this Astro Jam for years and years, and really gives us a lot of great theatrical fun. And a publisher, has written books. Thank you, Susie. We have MarieONeill from California of Padma Life Coaching. And Marie is a founder of Padma Life Coaching. She's an astrologer, a speaker, a that was past and life all put together, a past life regression facilitator, lecturer, and an author of And the Lotus Opened. So thank you very much, Marie. And Marie will be Mercury and Mars. Then we have Jen Sachs from Seattle, Washington. And Jen Sachs Astrology. She's a certified astrologer from the AFA and tarot reader from Biddy Tarot. Does consultations, is very active with CAT, which is Kepler Astrologers Toastmasters. And we thank you so much. We'll be great. And Jen will be the sun and Uranus until we hear from Rob. Thank you. Then we have, Rob, hey, you made it. Well, back to Rob. Yes.
Uranus and Gemini arise when Uranus and Gemini wants to.
Yay for Gemini. Yes, yes, yes. Okay, and Rob is from Pennsylvania, Deep Earth Astrology. He's a professional consulting astrologer and visionary of Deep Earth Astrology. And his tarot deck is coming out. There was somewhat of a shipment situation, which is so today, and very excited when it happens. He's the Grand Pentagon of the Ancient Order of Druids in America and director of the Magus Gathering. So thank you. Wonderful, Robert. Well, it's great to have. And as I say, I am going to be Saturn and Chiron because Sean, at the last moment, he says, I've never missed a time. And I thought, this is so true. You've held in there great. I guess I'll have to take these illustrious roles. And I founded Talk Cosmos. I'm an evolutionary astrologer and I study VA. And I'm glad to be here. Thank you. Well, just a little bit of insights. And thank you, everybody. We now have our... Oh, what happened to Melissa? Oh, we have Melissa.
Pluto's always in the underworld. Hiding out.
Yeah, here I thought it was Uranus.
Recognize them or not.
But no, we have Melissa from Australia. She's in Brisbane. And did I lose? No, there she is from Australia. Yes, trust the longer journey. See, we are. What a message. We are definitely traveling in time. And you can find Melissa best at her entire name, Melissa Elvira Billington at substack.com. A wonderful, wonderful blog. And she's a yoga teacher. She's also a very creative person with shows that she creates. She's a teacher on the dwarf planets with Dwarf Planet University. And going to school to get a master's, I believe, yes, right now in biological wonders to help our Earth. So thank you for being here.
Thank you.
Okay, now we have our cast. Oh, the surprise planets of the outer realms. And they are going retrograde, but that's a story for another day. Here we have so thank you again, folks. We have our graph. This is something you can give for reference, and it shows both for the solar eclipse and the lunar. It's from timeanddate.com, a good source. And as you can see, and sometimes the moon is either too high or too low in a lunar eclipse, or in a solar eclipse, which we're having, which means it's partial. It's not where the moon is totally blocking out the sun. Go ahead. A thought? I heard somebody? No. Okay. A lunar eclipse, a full moon, however, the moon and the sun are within a maximum of 11 degrees and 38 minutes to the lunar nodes. It's in Pisces. Pisces, and maybe some people want to throw out some words, is spiritual whole. I hear something. Go ahead. No, I'm just hearing things. As that is, it must be the rustling of the ocean coming in. It rules the ocean. Well, Pisces is the last sign, and it happens to be our north node. It's where we have a destiny of call, you could say, collectively to integrate, besides the fix-it mentality of details and the perfection that is wonderful of capability. But it is that universal, let's bring in some mystic energy to help us understand some of the signs that are important. But it's also a lunar eclipse, which is a release. Just a little bit of caveat. There's always opposites happening. This is a picture again of the lunar eclipse and a little AI on the side. I have my Mr. Salty, sea salt, with the healer of the sun, because they're opposite. One is the sun is in Virgo at exact degrees. That'll be on the 7th. That's not today. That's right. I'm having another one. It'll be in a week. And Talk Cosmos will be talking about it with Louise Eddington. But UT time back in Greenwich, it's in the evening, 6:08. And you got to be perfect, 37 seconds. We have a cast of folks that are now going to be planets, those resonances, frequencies emanating across the universe, as we all recognize. I didn't know the timing, but we're going to stick with Jen Sachs as the sun, Jolly Knot as moon, and we'll let Neptune morph. Jolly jump in, and if somebody else wants to, it's okay. Mercury and Mars will be MarieONeill, Venus and Jupiter, Susie Cox. And the reason I have sun and moon is that because you are the new moon in the lunar eclipse and solar eclipse. So your voice is pretty strong. Saturn and Chiron, I had to take on new roles here of healing. Thank you, universe. Uranus and Neptune. Oh, I put Neptune is just going to work however we do it. Is Rob Passetti. And Pluto, along with our cast of dwarfs, is Melissa Elvira Billington. Meanwhile, we have our asteroids, which normally historically, but then we're going into air away from Earth, have never been involved with astrodrama. But you know what? If you see an interpretation, grab it. Because it's not an interpretation. It's really going to be a personification where I am, and the rest are going to have to fall in line. Oh, here we go. There we be. I'm actually regressing. I am just reflecting on the wholeness. I really had a lot of pots in the pie. I'm Saturn, and I wanted to, and I have them in mind, but I just have to reflect. I have to see what that shimmering water wants me to see and feel. It just feels so good to be in the water. That flame it's hot.
Well, I am Mercury in Virgo, and I've got to tell you, I am just a little close to the sun, but not too close. I still want to speak with detail. I still want focus. I still want perfection in your communication. I still want you to speak with authority and perfection. Chart.
Well, I just want to say, hi, Jupiter. I'm in your house and you're in mine. This is so much fun. I'm really enjoying it. And hi, Sun. It's good to see you. I always like it when we light each other up.
I'm Saturn here. I need to have a little definition here. I'm still in a forward motion. And if I'm scouting out the land and trying to figure things out, I'm just curious, who was that speaking?
Saturn, darling. It's the moon.
Oh,
and of course, we are going to bring something into form. This is what you and I are good at. We're good at shaping things and molding things and having them materialize. And of course, with our friend the North Node between us, we're going to be doing quite a bit.
Well, we have been buddying up. It is true. And I thought I had a real, well, we'll just see because, okay, we'll wait and see.
Well, I'm Mars in Libra, and you guys really can't get anything done without me because I am action. I am where you're going to get your action, and you've got to play nice. You've got to be balanced. You've got to look at both sides of the situation here with whatever it is that you do.
Turn that off.
And I'm the sun, and I just want to say hello to everybody who's been recognizing me. I really appreciate that. And I wanted to make sure everybody had the floor to shine their brilliance first as well. And, I have some really direct alignments with the moon. Hello, my dear. And Mercury. And you know what, Mercury? I just got out of my home sign not too many days ago whenever we were in the Leo season. And Mercury, I just got to say, you just got to relax whenever you're in your home sign. Like, it's okay to kind of just like let things go and let things be a little bit more polished and fluid, especially with the South Node here. I appreciate all that you have to do. And I just want to let you know it's okay and you're perfect as you are.
I'm Uranus and I'm bored already. I'm retrograding. I have to move back into Taurus, which I'd much rather be in Gemini. Okay. Bringing you some occult information, bringing you some new forms of information. And this seems like a very, very grounded, feely event, and not so much loving the things that I love.
Well, I gotta say that now I'm beginning to know where I'm at, because I have this connection with Uranus that's been working out. And really, at the moment, that's about it. It's like if Uranus is sparking and doing something, I can give it some direction. I can say, well, you got to do this and you got to do that. Right now, we're a little bit at odds. Uranus seems to be kind of floating in the sky, which I know it will be. It's that kind of energy. But you know what? Air and water, we have a great relationship. And I'm Saturn in the water, but yet I'll just, that old sun's going to be heating things up, and I can get the clouds going and maybe tears of joy. I don't know. We'll see what happens as I make my mark in time.
And as Pluto in Aquarius, right at the beginning degrees, I can't say anything until I can see everything. And I've seen y'all talking about all the changes, and I can say there is one change that none of us will escape. None of you will escape the underworld eventually. The deep transformative work that waits for us all.
Oh, I love the underworld. I love anything that's new and explorative, where I can reach under the surface and pull things out into the sky. It'll be an amazing experience that we have together through this Pluto.
Well, can I just say, as the moon, and I'm very close to my friend, the North Node. Well, he's not really my friend. He's a demon, but this is all about, with a lunar eclipse, we're having a culmination on steroids. I really need you to understand that. And basically, we have this place where I am just going to give you the thing that you thirst for. Because at the end of the day, North Node is Rahu. And so Rahu's kind of making me thirsty, making me want to, well, it's kind of like this unquenchable thirst. But with Rahu, my friend, the demon, I do tend to bring things into being, unlike the solar eclipse, which we can talk about later. But this is my time. This is the lunar eclipse. And, it's really a lot of fun because people like looking at me in the sky, and you don't need those silly glass things, So, yeah.
I would say, sorry to interrupt. I don't want to leave you out, because that's exactly what I want to point out as Eris in Aries, is that we cannot leave anyone out. We need to pay attention to the instruments that are not tuned, get us all together. And I am currently holding hands with Chiron, so there's some wounding that needs some healing here in terms of those who have been left out, and in terms of lack of harmony amongst us.
Well, I am the ruler of the chart, and we have to all work on our relationships with each other. We have to find a way to get along and walk the right path, because it's all about right human relationships. Isn't that right, Venus?
I think it's time for me to jump in. I'm Venus in Leo. We're talking about love and relationships. I'm the planet of love. I'm Venus in Leo. I have my little tiara here, because of course Leo's royalty, so I've got royal. I'm royal. I'm feeling very royal. I really enjoy being in Leo. I think it's like one of my favorite places to be. And I'm just bringing love to everybody. I'm not involved with this hairy, eclipse. So I'm just going to give love to everybody. And at the same time, I'm Jupiter in the sign of Cancer. And I'm going to leave my tiara on because Jupiter is pretty royal too. But I do have some cookies here. So I made some chocolate chip cookies for everybody, and I wanted to give cookies to everybody. And gee, you can't eat it, so I'm going to eat it.
This is really fascinating to me because here I am, Chiron. Oh, Chiron, I really need that love to just, and it's not just love from you, but it's love within. As I see the reflection of, because it is all inclusive, I'm feeling this great inclusivity, like what have I left out, and what dreams and what hopes, and oh my gosh, it just goes on and on. But then again, I see your co-partner there, and it's like, those big ideas about, I don't know, it seems like it's a little bit restrictive sometimes. Jupiter with all the, it's like mind attachments. It's like, wait a minute, maybe I wanted part of that cake too, thank you. And I just, but you know what, I'm gonna, that would
chocolate chip cookies, they're really good. They're gluten-free, so they're really healthy and really good. Yeah. And by the way, I'm trying, Jupiter, I'm trying to the moon and the North Node. So I'm going to be bringing some, looking at things in a big picture. Jupiter in Cancer is really about society and humanity, people coming together to really work with each other. And I'm doing a good job with Jupiter in Cancer right now. A lot of people are coming together, in kind of in unusual ways, and are finding others, helping each other. So I'm doing a good job right now. And I got some nice healthy trines here, so I'm happy. Anybody else?
I love what you're saying there, Jupiter. And I think we need to widen that picture even farther as Sedna, the newest outer limit of our solar system, way, way out, yet coming in close in the next 50 years. I'm holding hands right now with Uranus, and I'm saying we got to innovate how we're trusting the longer journey. We've got to innovate how we're connecting. And here we are around the world connecting via technology. Thank you, Uranus. Thank you, Sedna, who's bringing us telepathy.
Give people hugs. Tell them you love them. Help somebody if they need help. I'm getting a little teary right now because it's it's needed right now. So unconditional love. Jupiter in Cancer is unconditional love for society.
But I gotta say, I think as Saturn, and I do have my cohort there with Neptune, but because it's a rebirth. There's just no way about it. And it's an adjustment. There are so many adjustments. And this particular moment in time seemed to have adjustments that aren't just, how am I going to reschedule my appointment? But they're deep. They're like adjustments for purpose, a rebirth. Like, I don't even know. Am I going to be a kangaroo next time, or maybe I'll be a dove? Nah, I don't think so. We'll find out. But it's profound.
Well, Saturn, I just want to say, I'm sorry, Uranus. Just give me one moment.
I have no problem interrupting you as Uranus and Gemini here. Being conjunct Sedna, I really wasn't on board with the, having a backwards trip with at first, but Sedna reminded me that we are going to need to sacrifice what we knew to learn more and to learn new information. We're going to have to sacrifice what we thought was knowledge for the new knowledge, for the new technology, and to reestablish our own sense of authenticity in a burgeoning world.
And I'm Vesta, and I'm able to see you, Saturn. And I agree with you that I'm radiating integrity. I'm radiating that authenticity that, of course, Uranus can also envelop. And I'm also holding hands with Juno, and we're here to fight the good fight. And we can see this eclipse as well. So we're really in a great position. We can see you, Pluto. We can see our sister Pallas. And we are really trying to transmit these concepts of integrity, of the hearth fire, of bringing people together, and Juno's really whispering in my ear and saying that, this is about fighting for what's right. So these are ideas and concepts that I really want everyone to keep in mind.
Aha. Well, we have our old sea salt and the healer. And I suppose I could have put up one with all the different aspects. But let's just talk about it for the next 5 minutes actually 4 minutes until we have our half break. To me, adjustments is one of the hugest. Yeah. Rob?
I think that we're really operating underneath that mini grand trine between Pluto, Uranus, Neptune, and Saturn right now. And everything kind of is operating underneath that outer planet umbrella. And, the collective energy is so strong right now that I think that this eclipse is all going to be about our personal experience within that framework.
It is emotional. Yes. Moon.
One of the things that I have been really looking at is the difference between a lunar eclipse and a solar eclipse, whether it's on the north node or on the south node. This is a lunar eclipse on the north node. And so, the astrologer Austin Coppock talks about this as potentially being a partial birth. A premature birth of something on the material plane that doesn't quite have legs yet. And we need to put in that extra effort to give it legs, basically, to give it the maturity it needs to get to where it's going. As you said, Rob, I think it's with the outer planet umbrella, it's an incredibly powerful moment.
Which by itself is actually working pretty independently. It's like this backdrop as a set on a stage. And meanwhile, all these little things in your life are happening. So often you might see on a marquee, life happens when.
So what are we letting go of? I think that's also part of eclipse season, isn't it?
Absolutely.
I tend to see the letting
lunar
go more with the
especially.
south node.
But it's a lunar eclipse, so it's still emotional. And a lunar eclipse, yes, it is that paradox that I mentioned in the beginning and that you're bringing up. It has that dichotomy between the fact that we do. So in other words, you have to look at, okay, what is it about the Piscean umbrella or whatever we want to call it, that direction, and it has a host of that we're doing that needs to be released to embrace that. I mean, maybe we're getting so fixed with some of our control. A lot of times it's control, right? I mean, with Pisces, it's because by control, it's like we see what we want to. You need to have an idea of what you need to develop or to manifest. But yet the universe just magically pops in with information.
Well,
I think it could be.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was going to say with Pisces, I love Pisces, and I love that it's the last sign. But I also know that Pisces doesn't see boundaries and doesn't see structure or anything like that. And yet the antidote to Pisces is always going to be Virgo. And, so how do you work both of them? Virgo can be too structured, too detail oriented, and too focused on that. And Pisces comes in and says, hey, let's look at the big picture. And, Pisces, on the other hand, all it sees is the big picture. Let's make it real. So coming to balance that, because, we have to find some way to balance it. So letting go of the shadow.
And embracing. Go ahead, Jen.
There is, with the Virgo Pisces axis, it's, I am just seeing it. It's like with the big picture with Pisces, and then Virgo wants to have all these details so that it can come into manifest in our reality. And there is this, I have a lot of Virgo on my chart, so I'm really dealing with this right now. My birthday is actually next Sunday, but it's this, okay, you've edited it twice. It's good enough. Like it's fine. So it's how can we edit, but also allow Pisces to be like, okay, well, now it's time to be in the flow. So now put it out there.
We going, and I, as Saturn, still honorary because time is up. The new cycle begins. Get ready for your adjustments. Get ready to release. Get ready to heal. Get ready to do these good things that we brought up. All right, folks. Stay tuned. Solar is next.
While we take a break from this week's edition of Talk Cosmos, let's take a look at this cycle's archetype. We are currently in the yin period of Virgo. By leaving a cycle based on the creative manifested legacy of our highest creative form, the energy of Virgo completes the last sign below the horizon of the self and requires discernment to perfect oneself through the mental process of critical analysis. As a mutable earth sign duly ruled by Mercury, Virgo refines, heals, or fixes through daily routines, developing skills and services to control nature's chaos and maximize efficiency.
Talk Cosmos brings insightful conversations to awaken consciousness for the soul growth with hour-long programs. Talk Cosmos weekly programs are also available to watch live on the Talk Cosmos YouTube channel and Facebook page. While you're there, make sure you click the like and subscribe buttons so you get the full Talk Cosmos experience. Or if you'd rather listen to the show archives with audio only, the entire podcast collection since 2018 is available on most podcast carriers. And to find out about upcoming programs, sign up for the newsletter at talkcosmos.com. So grab your coffee, tea, or kombucha and enjoy the show.
This is Martha Norwalk. Every Sunday morning, beginning at 9 a.m., thanks in part to the Whispering Dragon Center in Shoreline, we cover the world of animals. This week, it's Shelter Rescue Sanctuary and anything that helps our animal friends Sunday. We'll check in with Meow Cat Rescue, Help Animals India, and Animals24-7.org. Plus, we'll find out about all the great events and classes coming up at the Ananda Institute for Living Yoga. Hope you can join us for Martha Norwalk's Animal World, Sunday morning, 9 a.m. to noon, right here on Alternative Talk, AM 1150.
Wondering what's on next on Alternative Talk 1150? Check out 1150kknw.com.
Okay, hello and thank you again. This is a slide of each person. We have Jen and you can check all of their locations. Jen Sachs Astrology. For Jolly, it's Bodhimindful.com. Melissa is her name at substack.com. MarieONeill is Padma Life Coaching. Rob is Deep Earth Astrology. And Susie is Susie Cox. And I'm Talk Cosmos. We'll just take about 20 seconds, maybe a couple more, each one of us to kind of tell what's happening. Melissa?
Hi, hello. In our little intermission, I don't know if anybody was actually listening, but it said, control nature's chaos. And I have to laugh at that because nature is divinely wise and constantly recalibrating. We are the ones who are a bit chaotic and not aligned. So that's what I'm looking at in my master's right now in terms of biodiversity loss and human sensory experience. And it's the bigger picture, and I'm interested in trusting the longer journey. So that's the name of my blog. And I write about all sorts of things from all sorts of realms of my life. That's probably 20 seconds.
No, that's just great. Thank you very much. And that was just really for Virgo, that's Virgo's intent is to, but it is a polarity because that was it. Well, very good. And I'm always glad to see you on Dwarf Planet University. And I know there's new classes coming up. So thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks. It's good to be here.
We have Jolly Knott there in London, England. And I know, hi, Jolly.
Hi, Sue. Yeah, so I've got a couple of things coming up. I love the lunar nodes. I'm obsessed with them. So I have a talk with the Tucson Astrologers Guild coming up on September 13th, where I'll talk about the lunar nodes in terms of timing. And then in November, I have a talk for the Bedford Astrology Club, where I talk about the lunar nodes through the signs. So if you have any interest in either of those things, please join me there or on my newest podcast with Ashwin Subramanian, and it's just called The Jolly Ashwin Show.
Oh, goody. That's always fun. That's wonderful. Congrats.
Thank you.
And we have Rob.
Hi. Yeah, we just got done our Fractal Cosmos event. This was our first VA vibrational astrology event. It went great. If you're interested in that for next year, you can go to fractalcosmos.org. It was an amazing experience. I'm going to also be speaking at the Tucson Astrologers Guild in January about vibrational astrology. So it's going to be awesome. Yeah, it's a wonderful opportunity. And then, we just have tons of stuff going on within the Deep Earth community as far as, nature-focused events that incorporate astrology. You can check us out at deepearthastrology.com.
Well, it was a wonderful event, and that's why I left it up, because it just finished at 10 o'clock this morning for wherever you are. And it's definitely a keeper. It was very well structured and just so illuminating. So thank you, Rob, for all that great work. And Jen Sachs there in Seattle, Washington with Kat. Mm-hmm.
Yes, meow. And I just got a new cat the other day. I'm Jen Sachs. I am kind of still building my social media thing. I'm finally posting on Instagram if you want to follow me. And everything is Jen Sachs, astrology or astrologer. There's a couple other Jen Sachses about my age with my presentation who are also creative. So pay attention to the astrology. And I posted my first weekly astrology podcast this morning. So again, Jen Sachs Astrology, you'll see that. And then on April 11th of next year, I will be speaking at the Tucson's Astrologers Guild on the Uranus and Venus conjunction, because Venus is at 2° Gemini, both times Uranus ingresses into Gemini. So just that relationship and how it has manifested in other astrology charts in the past.
Beautiful. Well, thank you. That's excellent. Good luck with it all. We have Susie Cox.
Hi, and it's so much fun. I'm in my Virgo mode here, so so I think this would be a good Virgo style change from Leo to Virgo. Yes, and it's been so much fun to invite all these speakers here to speak at the Guild, and we've been going on for, we started in 1979. And have been going full speed ever since. And we've got a new steering committee, so we're kind of doing some new things. Very exciting. Last meeting for the Tucson Astrologers Guild, every Leo we do an official astro drama. And so I brought out my costumes, and there were like 20 people there, and we were all acting out different charts. It was way fun. And so at any rate, I'm completely doing that. And, I'm just a hardworking astrologer, as far as just a lot of clients. So I love what I do. And thanks for putting this on, dear. It's awesome. So much fun.
I'm glad to have you. And that's such a great opportunity. I need to think about something for myself. But the astrodrama, if people come down in that area, that it's exponentially life-changing to get that visceral type. So wonderful. And Sean is not here. That's why I'm being Saturn, as you know. And we have MarieONeill.
Oh my goodness. Hello, and thank you for having me on your show again, Sue. This is fantastic. I am an astrologer, life coach, and author. My book, And the Lotus Opened, which talks about my journey to healing and helping others to actually have a blueprint. I'm such a Virgo ascendant. So that's why I wrote the book. I have just finished my virtual healing retreat, which I do twice a year in spring and summer. I am speaking next week with at the symposium, the Kepler College 25th anniversary symposium. Lori Barnes and I will be talking about or helping people figure out their About Me page and their bio page. In October, Wine Country Speakers, we are doing a Speak Up, Stand Out event, which will be happening on October 4th. I'll be one of the presenters there along with Sue. I also, in January, will be speaking at the Guild in Arizona, and I'm looking forward to that. I will be talking about storytelling, because storytelling for astrologers, I believe it's important that we use stories all the time, because we are talking to people who don't know anything about astrology usually. So yeah.
Exciting stuff. Okay. Wonderful. Thank you, Marie. For Talk Cosmos, this is a little bit of our agenda of what we have recently done, which of course was Uranus with Rick Levine. And then we did other issues there. I'm trying not to take up time, but there are some wonderful panels that keep repeating. Planet Buzzes, where we have a guest. And then there is the whole lunar time. So if you want to find out a little bit more, I mean, by the phases, check out Kaleidoscope Visions, for instance. And then on a more mundane subject is U.S. global currents. Meanwhile, coming up next week, this month seems to be really focused on the eclipse. There's so many ways that it's changing in our lives, so many ways that we can actually express and learn about it. This is one way today, but next week, Louise Eddington is coming, and we're focusing exactly on the lunar eclipse. And she has shamanic background, among other, and so it'll have another focus. And with archetypal symbols, we do the new moon, which will happen to be the solar. But for that one, we do a totally different potpourri of focuses that embrace astrology, which happen to be some Sabian symbols, numerology, tarot, the Vedic nakshatra. It's weaved in. But exciting is on that day is the equinox. And Linda Berry, who had Fractal Cosmos just finishing up today, and it comes every equinox and solstice to give us the entire season's overarching messages of soul life frequencies that work. Rob Passetti's on that with me, and it's really exciting. So I want to highlight it. And following that, of course, comes Kaleidoscope Visions again, saying, hey, this is the big picture, and they're pretty entertaining. So I thank everybody for all of that. And let's talk about the solar eclipse. It is always a new moon. However, it has to be a certain distance longer than the moon by itself. It can be 17 degrees, 25 minutes to the nodes, because those are lunar nodes. Every planet has their nodes. It's a partial, unlike the lunar that's going to be total. This is a partial eclipse. The picture's not quite evident. And it will be at the very last degree on my ascendant and Marie's of 29 degrees and 5 minutes. So it's like a wait and see what will this transpire of Virgo. Virgo, we've talked quite a bit about. It is a perfectionist of improvement. That's the idea. Like, how can we better ourselves? Well, we'll find out. You got to delete something to give room for something else. And again, it has that disparity because it's a solar eclipse that we're supposed to embody, but it's at the south node. Here is a quick little caption of the moon that's right smack dab in between. So it blocks the sun from Earth. And we have our two characters, but now they're a little different. We have the solar Virgo looking out on her scribe list, and the sea salt spying, okay, what's happening out there? We'll find out. Our cast, which we're kind of shifting around, but each of us identify ourselves and then launch. So we're launching. There we are. I'm just wondering, what does that moon have to say anyway?
Oh, I have a lot to say. I'm in the process of changing. As the moon, I'm here to, sorry, son, but to kind of block out that ego. I'm here to engender something more on a collective level. But first, we got to lose the ego. And that's where my friend, the demon South Node, kind of comes in.
Well, I'm Uranus, and I can't wait to blow things up. And, it's going to be a wonderful opportunity for us to let go of our egos, because I'm going to say whatever I want.
But I'm square you. Venus and Virgo is square Uranus. So I think you're going to say what you want, but in an appropriate way that people will understand. That, at least that's my intention, to help you.
I
And since
appreciate that
I'm
help.
holding your hand, Uranus, as Sedna, I'm all about allowing love and harmony. So we can widen out the view of what is permissible to say and intend to make a bigger, more loving picture of it.
But as Saturn here, that's still wallowing back until June or May, when I finally have a chance to have scouted out the past to come back and see what I can bring in. When it comes to this whole connection that I have with the sudden thoughts and communication of Uranus, Sedna, it seems to me that what I get thrown into is some kind of startling. It takes me time and a lot of adjustment to realize, oh, it's for my better good. I've got to drop off the boat. I've got to get into the water and really become, I'm not sure, a new dimension. It's kind of scary sometimes.
Well, I'm Mars.
It is scary. And as go ahead, Mars and Libra. I know Mars and Libra has a hard time getting started, so you go right ahead.
This is true. I'm Mars and Libra. I've been in Libra for quite a while. I'm at that last degree. So I've mastered Libra. I know how to get along. I know how to balance things. I know how to be in relationship. I know how to fight in a good way. And I am the ruler of the chart, which means everyone has to come through me to actually express out into the world. And so when you come through me, make sure you don't bring your shadow. Make sure that you're ready for action. Make sure that you're ready to fight if you need to. And go forth.
And I am drawing you forth, Mars, as Haumea in Scorpio at that first degree. I'm drawing you across into the next sign, into that deep transformative sign of Scorpio for a rebirth that we all need, for a deep volcanic shift that is needed.
Yes, and as the sun, I want to appreciate everybody for speaking on wanting to release the ego, because I got to tell you, it's exhausting being this bright all the time and being in Virgo with this long, with all of this illumination. It's just a lot to process. And I know in the last meeting, Pluto was inviting us into the underworld, and now at this illumination, I am in an out of sign trine with Pluto. And I think that really speaks on the level of what we are letting go of as we are emerging anew with our relationships.
It is a let go. It's all it is. And Mars, I got to tell you, this is an Aries chart. So I'm not sure who's ruling what. It seems like me being in Saturn, I have to keep my little circles going with my own orbit, but I have friends here. Neptune, I know that Neptune, I'm going to ask Neptune, what's up? Well, okay, I'm Neptune, because we're buddies, but you know what? In my mind, we have to, it is our direction, and Mars is changing directions just like you. And so what? It's like, you got to go with the program. And I think really it is a matter of looking for our friend there, Uranus, what's popping up today. But then I'm Saturn and I'm saying, but there's so many adjustments. That's okay. Neptune says to Saturn, you know what? You've got Uranus. Mark with the day.
And as that Aries, rulership going on, I want to speak from Ceres, our only inner dwarf planet that is often forgotten. We forget that we need to embody all of these cosmic energies to bring them in and to be them and to be brave and bold and pioneering with how we are embodying the cosmic stories.
Well,
I'm Uranus and, Venus. We are square each other, but we're both ruled by Mercury right now. And Mercury is in Libra. So I think that we're really going to be working together on redefining what services and what communication is in our relationships. And that is going to be a big focus of how we're going to contribute to this situation.
I agree with you, Uranus. And I find it interesting that Venus, I'm squaring Uranus. Of course, we got this big grand trine, and Mars is squaring Pluto. So it's like Venus, Mars, you and I are kind of helping this grand trine during this eclipse. So I think that's just kind of interesting.
Absolutely. And as the communicator of the group, Mercury, I'm here to help us actually be in right relationship. And I'm here to help us with balancing.
Well, I will say that even though I can't see you, Mars, very clearly, I can kind of catch your drift through Jupiter, because at least I can see Jupiter and Jupiter can see you. So I think it's worth really combining this idea of Jupiter, what you represent in terms of beliefs, and Mars, what you represent in terms of action, but through the function of feelings in Cancer and relationship in Libra. And well, in Virgo, the sun and I will do everything to sow that seed and get things rolling on a more collective level for the collective good. This is, in Virgo, we want to be prepared for the winter. We want to make sure that everything is arranged and sorted for the harvest.
I'm going to be very strong. Jupiter, Jupiter in Cancer. I feel really strong. I've been in Cancer a while. I'm going to retrograde. I mean, I'm kind of owning this sign, and it's so important right now with this strong Mars and Venus and Jupiter in Cancer. It's about friends, family, society, humanity, connecting with people, helping people that need help. I think that's going to be a theme. At least that's going to be my theme.
Yeah, and something else that I'm shining very bright on, and Moon, my darling, I did not notice your outfit change as you got closer to me, and I'm just loving the whole outfit. But something about, what I want to bring into an illumination and understanding is how we are maybe not necessarily people pleasing, which I feel would be more of a Libra thing, but over service orienting ourselves. Where is it that we're picking up these projects that we don't have the time for? How are we saying yes? Or are we doing the opposite and we're expecting people to be serving us all the time? So I just want to shift the perspective of how we use our authority that has a more health conscious awareness for a more communal and global effect.
Wow. I'm Saturn, and that was a heap of thoughts, but I think the drift is good. That's all. I'm drifting out here in the water. I'm drifting, and I've got a lot of folks drifting backwards too. This whole world is like a lot of a reset. Big thoughts, big ideas, down to what, and that's one of the issues is we got to it's hard in Pisces for Saturn to really see what idea linked to another idea, but you know what? It's like that sun and moon, this eclipse. I think, of course, I can't see the sun, but that's okay. Because maybe that's just having gotten in my way anyway. So I'm gonna trust. I'm gonna move on.
Well, as Mercury in Libra, the sun and moon have to answer to Mercury, and because it's that last degree, sun and moon, you're mastering. You've been here. You're mastering, letting go. You're mastering the details.
Yeah.
You're mastering.
Get the work done. Those of you in the last degrees, because those of us in the first degrees are going, come on, let's move on into Aquarius and Gemini. We've got some bigger ideas out here.
Big seed. Big seed. Yeah, Rob,
I just think, the story of these two eclipses is that we're going to have to be spiritually and emotionally creative to prepare ourselves for the changes that we're going to have to make more on the mundane and service level.
Yeah.
It seems like,
very
we have
well said, Uranus.
fire on there.
Yeah, Jen, go ahead. Yeah.
Oh, I was just going to say that I don't think it's spoken enough about how spiritual Virgo is with its daily habits and daily routines, and to bring that spiritualness to brushing our teeth or brushing our hair or taking our vitamins. So.
Thankfulness. Yeah, it can help. It does help. Well, I'm thankful. Marie, Melissa, Rob, Jen, Jolly, Susie. Wow. The energy pops on, and we thank all of you listening, and really just work through your process of surrender, embrace, all these words we talk about, but sometimes when you're in the trenches, it's like, yeah, I'm floating. Where's the raft? Enjoy.
Thank you for joining an insightful conversation on Talk Cosmos, the show where Sue Rose Minahan and her panel of guests awaken consciousness by connecting soul growth patterns with astrology's energetic cycles. Be sure to tune in next week, same time, same place, to continue your journey through the roots of the cosmic pathway.